This is a journey. A journey which along the way will bring to you new color, new dimension, new value.
So as far as the individual salesperson themselves, what can they do to be on top of their game?
Yeah, for the individual salesperson, especially going into a new year, you know, because everybody wants to wipe the slate clean and just say, oh, you know, last year was really bad, you know. Right. And the funny thing is, you go from 2008, 2009, 2010, and everybody's like, can it get any worse? Yeah. You know. But now we've got obviously a brighter economy that's coming ahead of us. So the very first thing is taking a look at their entire market and saying, this is the part that I'm absolutely going to own. You know, I am going to make sure that I'm contacting these types of customers and that these customers are happy. That planning effort is going to be very important. From there, looking out and saying, this is the market that I am going to reach for. Okay, so that's a little bit further out in terms of those three circles to be able to say, well, this is the part that I'm going to own, and I'm going to suck the life out of any competitor that comes in here. I'm going to make sure that I'm really got this protected. The next ring is going to be, well, I'm going to compete for this type of business. The third outer ring is going to be, well, you know what? I'm going to try to get some opportunities there. Where most salespeople have a really tough time is that they just start grabbing for that third ring and saying, let me try here, let me try there, let me try there. And it ends up being a diaspora of you know, their own thoughts and their own efforts. And unfortunately, it just doesn't work. Focus in on that core, then move out, then move to the bigger market.
Now, you mentioned a very interesting thing. And in a large organization, they kind of separate the two. In a smaller organization, how do you separate, or how do you approach acquisition versus account management?
Interesting. We're actually solving that problem right now with a company that I've got down in North Carolina. It is.
For a lot of people, including me.
Yeah, because it's effectively juggling. Yeah. Right? And you're sitting there saying, oh, well, wait a second, we're in a small organization, so therefore our sales guys need to also be the account managers, you know, and how do you handle that? I actually flip the equation around and I look at it from the perspective of the customer themselves. Okay. What does the customer want to see? What is the experience that the customer wants to feel? Do they want to feel as though it is one individual who is just, you know, who's handling them all the way down, or do they want to feel as though there's a team around them? And that really does help answer the question.
Right.
Right.
That makes sense.
It also helps to examine what is the level of difficulty of acquiring a new customer. Right. So therefore, that
hurts.
It does, right? Because if acquiring the new customer is really expensive, or really takes a long period of time, or
all the above, yes.
Yeah, or requires all those things, well, then normally you're going to have somebody who's focused in on developing those types of relationships. And then once the operational part of the relationship, no matter what your business is, once the operational part of the business, delivering the product, you can hand that off to an account manager. So I split it in those two different ways. When I look at a problem, I'm looking at it from those two perspectives. What does the customer want to see, and what do they want to experience? And the second thing is that how difficult is it to really acquire this customer, and how much of my salesperson's time needs to apply to that?
So you're basically giving me the answer. Here's the tricky part. How do you go from one person selling and managing that account to transitioning to having an account manager for that?
A journey which along the way will bring to you new color, new dimension,